I've tried very hard not to be unfair to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or any of the other congressional freshmen who have been hit pretty hard by conservatives. I'm a dad. I have a daughter. I also was once a young lefty with more confidence than knowledge or life experience. The people coming out of the university indoctrinational complex are so thoroughly brainwashed that it would be surprising if there were not at least a few leftists in Congress spouting absolute nonsense. I try not to overreact, but my patience is running short with little Jenny from the block and her constant attention-seeking. I've about had it with hearing her run her mouth about the good, hard-working people who are doing their very best to respond to the problem at our border. A problem that has been created by leftist politicians both here and in Central America. So let me address her directly. Alex, sit your narrow ass down and listen for a change. You don't have the slightest idea what you are talking about. Thousands of people a day try to cross our southern border. About 50,000 a year are seeking asylum. What exactly would you do if you were understaffed, underfunded, and overwhelmed 24/7? You were a bartender. You should have at least some insight into what happens when the people enforcing the rules are vastly outnumbered by those breaking the rules. Unless your restaurant was particularly civilized, I'm sure that you experienced people who were just out of line. I'm sure that on occasion you had to call a bouncer over and have somebody removed from the premises. Am I right? Now imagine that you and a few other bartenders were dealing with an inundation somewhere along the lines of what we have at our southern border. Imagine that you and your fellow bartenders had people stacked up 20 deep at the bar and everybody was demanding a drink all at the same time. How would you like it if your inability to provide perfect service to everybody all at once was used by a self-promoting politician in order to slander you as mean, as uncaring, as evil even? How would you like that? Well, flip the picture around, Bright Eyes, because that show-off politician is you. The American law enforcement officials at the border are working-class people, like you were. Many or most of them are Hispanic, like you are. They are working their butts off to do a tough job, and you, having immediately forgotten what a tough job is, are on the sidelines nitpicking and throwing insults. You should be ashamed of yourself. You need to pump the brakes, Shorty. The people you are dumping on are actually well-versed in the issues you see from thousands of miles away and through the lens of political bias. Let's just take your most recent inanity as an example. You told the world that the United States employees caring for thousands of uninvited guests were forcing people to drink out of toilets. What a thing to say. What an awful accusation. Did I say uninvited guests? Well, that's not quite true, is it, Alex? In fact, they have been invited by Democratic politicians like you. And now you diss the Border Patrol with this spurious charge? Let's take a look at the toilets that are used in such facilities, shall we? See this? You see how the sink is above the toilet? That is because water is scarce in the desert where these borders are. Clean, potable water is used for washing and drinking, and the overflow drains down into the toilet tank below. This is called gray water. It is then used to flush the toilet. Do you know where I was when I first used a toilet like this? I was at an organic urban farm. I was surprised at first, but it took me only a second to understand that not only was a sink-toilet combination perfectly sanitary, it was green. You remember green, don't you? I remember you telling all the rest of us out here in the actual world that we would just have to be more green, use less, conserve more.
This compact all-in-one Smart Flush toilet suite and hand basin combination uses the same water for two purposes. Fresh water is first used for hand washing and then to fill the cistern for normal toilet flushing. This efficient system results in water savings of up to 70% compared to an 11-litre single flush toilet suite and separate hand basin.
Did you hear that, Alex? Up to 70% savings of water. These sink toilet combos at the facilities you call concentration camps are water conservation devices. These plumbing fixtures are exactly the sort of thing that you would know about if you had paused to educate yourself before lecturing the rest of us about conserving resources. So how about you zip your perfectly glossed lips and take a few deep breaths? Try to remember what it felt like to do a tough, thankless job for short money. And then find a news microphone somewhere and apologize to the people struggling to keep a torrent of foreigners safe and fed and cared for. And from now on, when you leave your posh digs for your job as a celebrity apprentice, remember to stir a teaspoon of humility into your chai latte. You have been elected to serve the people of this nation. How about you get busy doing that? And to the rest of you out there, all you rough and tumble Americans who listen to this channel, well, get on out there and celebrate our great country on its 243rd birthday. Happy Independence Day. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and then click the little bell to get notifications.